Good morning to my people of the DoMoreLife family and to YouTube. If you are new to the channel, welcome. It is good to have you. I'm glad you're either watching the replay or watching this live because we have a nice, serious topic to talk about today. And it's one of my favorite topics to discuss with people. And that is the safety of traveling Thailand. How safe is it to travel Thailand? I get this question quite often, and I have some really good responses for this question. Now, what I would like to respond with first is by telling you a little bit about some other places I've been in. Is the chat working, guys? Somebody type something in the chat because I see a bunch of people in here, but I don't see anything in the chat. I don't know why the chat's not working. Um, yeah, there's Frank. Good evening, Frank. And I'll get back to you, sir, after this. I want to talk first about my travels in other places in Southeast Asia because that'll give you a really good reference point. Thank you, Bradford. And hello, Robert. Good morning to you, sir. You guys just don't mind me while I say hello to my channel members um, who support the channel and get some perks. Like they voted on this topic. That was the members only tab I put up yesterday, and they got to vote on the topic for this video. And they also, excuse me, guys, I woke up sneezing. Whew. I woke up sneezing this this morning, and I hadn't been able to stop. Good morning, MetTech and Stuck, my man. Good to see you. Yes, everyone, please hit the like button. We love the like button. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So what I'll do is I'll start with some of my travels in Southeast Asia, and then I'll bring you back to Thailand, and I'll talk to you about whether or not it's safe for travelers to travel Thailand. Okay, Stuck, no problem, man. So I originally began my travels in the Philippines, here in Southeast Asia. Um, I've been to Taiwan, I've been to Malaysia for short periods of time. I've been to Germany for short periods. All these are short periods of time travels. Um, and I've been to Laos or Laos, however you pronounce it. I pronounce it Laos. I've been to these places, and something I noticed about all of these places are the safety issues. So let's talk about them. The Philippines, first and foremost, was a place I stayed at for 9 months. So I feel comfortable talking about it and feel comfortable talking about its relative level of safety, particularly as it pertains to tourists and as it pertains to expats. What's up, Hike? Good morning. Good to see you, brother. Um, I want to make that clear. So, in the Philippines, um, you as a vacationer or tourist or expat need to make sure you lock everything up because people will take your stuff. Uh, in certain cases, if you're in Manila, in certain parts of Manila, Manila has about 6 or 7 different districts. So if you're in about 4 or 5 of those districts, you need to really take care of your stuff. Make sure you have everything attached to you because it will wind up missing. Don't leave anything sitting on the sidewalk or outside of a store or anything like that. If you get off a motorbike in the Philippines, don't hang. I said theft. I'm shocked. If you get off your motorcycle or motorbike, don't just hang your helmet on the side of the bike and think it's going to be there when you get out of wherever it is you're going into. For me, the Philippines felt unsafe, and I would only go back there as a traveler, not as an expat to live or any long term stay is pretty much out of the question for me because I saw firsthand so many bad things happen to so many good people, and it was kind of sad, really, in certain cases. Now I lived in Cebu City, and I also lived in the northern Luzon, particularly in the Nueva Vizcaya area, and I was shocked at really how much safer I felt in bigger cities than I did in some of the smaller villages in the Philippines. It was a it was a little different. Now, if you're going out to the islands, well, I say the islands. The Philippines is an archipelago of islands. But if you're going to the islands in the Philippines, what I mean by the islands is like El Nido. You're going out to Palawan and Coron and all these other places that are heavy tourist spots. You're going to be fine in terms of people. You don't have to worry about like being physically attacked, I don't think. But you still need to make sure that your stuff is with you, locked up, or in a locker somewhere, because it will go missing. That's been my experience in the Philippines. Now, let's talk about the short experience that I had. Germany, I really wasn't there long enough to really form a good opinion, and I didn't get to get outside of. Oh, I've also been to Singapore too, by the way. But I didn't Germany, Singapore. I really didn't get a chance to go outside enough and really observe the culture there to understand the safety measures. I know Germany had a lot of safety measures in place, and you can read about Singapore's rules, so you know that you got to really behave when you're in Singapore, which is good. Um, I'm getting there hype, which is a good thing for sure. Malaysia seemed like a super safe country. I don't know because I was only there basically out in the open a day, but it seemed like a super safe place. You didn't see road rage or other things like that happening. It was uh, it just I got the feeling of security when I was there. The cab drivers didn't try to mess with your money or anything like that. Seemed like a super safe place. Taiwan seemed like Taiwan was a super safe place, and I know that because I was in Taipei. Um, I got off the plane. I had a 17 and a half hour layover, so I had to go get a hotel. And in Taiwan, the lady was like, "Listen, you're gonna have to walk through the old Taipei." I don't know why she called it that, but that's what she called it. And I did. I took my Google Maps out. I put the address in there, and the people pointed me in the right direction. I took a bus for about, I don't know, 5 kilometers or so, and then they let me off at the bus station. It was another 5 kilometers to the hotel I was staying at, which was a very old hotel. It was okay, but I mean, it was a very old hotel. I was just happy to be off an airplane at that point because I'd been flying for at that time it was about, I don't know, 17 or 18 hours I had been flying. I was just ready to hit a bed. So when I got to Taipei, I had to walk through. My point is, I had to walk through very what you would look at and consider. You would look at it and you would think, I'm in the slums. I better watch myself. You might have been in. I might have been in the slummy part of Taipei, if there is such a thing. But there was certainly nothing to fear with the people. The people were super nice. Um, they speak a different dialect over there of Mandarin, I think, and I had no idea what they were saying. It all sounded Chinese to me, so I don't know. But I didn't know what they were saying. But a few of them knew English, and he had to be in his early 70s, late 70s guy. He comes over and he basically walks 3 kilometers with me to my hotel. to make sure I get there okay. And looking around one side on the other, even before I got to that point, as I was looking around, there was nobody was stealing nothing. Helmets were on motorbikes. Everybody was inside. They were just hanging on the handlebars. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this must be a pretty safe place. I got to the quote unquote sketchy hotel, and there was nothing sketchy about it other than the fact that the lady was just she had just built her hotel. It was old, it had bars on the instead of plexiglass, but um, that's just kind of common for any place, I would think. I wouldn't think that's a safety measure to protect them, not to protect you. So I think Thailand was, I mean, not Thailand. I think Taiwan, particularly Taipei, was a super safe place, in my opinion. Ball Around the World says, I landed at Bangkok and at midnight and 2 in the morning. I was walking around the city like I've been there before. MetTech says, I've been visiting Southeast Asia since 2000, including walking 8 times through Manila. Never had a significant safety issue, even in Cambodia. Just my experience. And everybody's experience is going to differ. That's for sure. And that's cool. But I can tell you right now, certain districts in Manila, I have had problems in. That's been my experience. And some of it was just from being naive, and because the Philippines was the first place that I kind of dwelled in on a more permanent settling, so to speak. 9 months is kind of a long time for me. So, and I haven't been to Cambodia, but I've heard that it can be bad or good, whichever way that is. Yeah, Hike says he wish he could say the same thing. So, with all that, that brings us to Thailand and the safety of Thailand. Now, as of today, it's May 13th, 2020. Yeah. Had to make sure I had the right year. May 13th, 2020. And I'm in Bangkok, Thailand. I have lived in Bangkok, Thailand, and Rayong, Thailand. I spent a lot of time in Pattaya, Thailand, which everybody knows the world famous tourist spots in Pattaya, and that's a whole nother story in itself. I have never felt more safe in a country than I do in Thailand. Now, with that being said, let me give you some examples. When I get off my motorbike and I get ready to go into a store, shopping centers, all the malls around here, they have lower decks hey, Roger, good to see you this morning, bud. They have parking decks, right? And you get on the bottom of the parking deck, and everybody's helmet is laying on their bike. They have security out there to make sure you don't take it, but you don't have the armed guards everywhere. To contrast that, in the Philippines, before you go into any of their malls, they have a armed guard standing at the door, usually 2 or 3, with different types of weapons. Most of the time, it's some kind of 12-gauge shotgun. But it's a little. For me, it was nothing because I grew up around guns. But for some people, it really scared them because they had to put that stuff, or they felt like they were, because you have to scan all your bags and you have to do all this and all that, and it gets kind of worrisome. But here in Thailand, you might have to scan your bags going through, but as long as they don't see any thing that looks crazy, I've never gotten stopped and had to open my bag. Like, never. And let me just say, welcome to all my new subscribers. I appreciate all you guys that are coming in, and I hope that you guys consider becoming channel members. You can do that by clicking the join button below the video or clicking the link in the chat, and go over there, check out what your perks are. It'll explain it all to you. Ball says people on the streets in Thailand seem to be doing something normal, not not opportunists. And that's the case. Thailand is a place where Buddhism is practiced a lot. Okay, so it's also a place where saving face, just like anywhere in Southeast Asia or Asia, period, saving face is a big, big deal. And many times, people over here, including expats that have been here and learned their lesson, will do things to avoid causing a Thai person or themselves to lose face. And losing face just means to be caught being wrong. Okay, so Thais will typically, what I've seen, typically would walk away from an argument with the expat. But on the back end of that, if you get somebody that's really, really mad and they go to the cops, you're going to lose as a foreigner in Thailand. That's for sure. And that pretty much applies across the board in Southeast Asia. So if you're in the abroad region over here, just don't get into it with the locals. I can tell you that for sure. Hike says, I am so much more cooler now that I'm a channel member. Yes, you are, my friend. Yes, you are. Hike and I are going to be doing a video later on in the week about photography. And we're going to be talking about cameras and all that good stuff, because as soon as they open the shopping malls here, it's camera time. And I'm definitely going to go pick up that camera. So I'll need... I need you guys to do what you do best, and that's keep the channel going on contributions, and that, because that'll allow. This is pretty much going to take up about everything I've saved, and hammer time, Hike. But I will be going to get the camera just as soon as possible. That definitely before the end of the month, unless something changes. But I don't anticipate anything changing. I will be going to get the camera, and then we'll have to keep the contributions up and stuff, because I have to buy accessories to go with it to get it to do exactly what I want. And then I'm gonna bring you guys some higher quality vlogs. When I say higher quality, I mean higher image quality, higher audio quality, and hopefully just better. I'm gonna try to get back to my better editing side, which means I'll probably be putting out, 2 or 3 videos a week versus, having content every day. I simply can't do that if I'm going to put out highly edited vlogs. But this camera gives me an ability to do some things that I haven't done before, such as picturesque vlogs and that kind of thing. So we definitely want to be sure to get all the memberships and all the contributions that we can, for sure. We got a new member. Go hopping. He is a DoMoreLife channel member. Welcome, sir. Yes, I did decide. Welcome. I'm so glad that we have a member. That's awesome, man. Have you decided what camera you want? Yes, sir. I'm going to purchase the Olympus OMD. The Olympus OMD EM1 Mark III. Which is their latest camera that they put out. So it's brand new technology. This thing is so full of technology, it's going to take me a month to learn how to use the thing. David says, actually, it's more common than a tourist get into an argument with a Thai than an expat. Yeah, that's true. That's true, David. You're right. They do not know any better. That's why they get into it. That's true. Good that you are teaching them to chill and leave their arrogance at the airport. Yes, sir. I preach that a lot. I'm very glad to see you go hop and become a channel member. That's awesome, man. MetTech says, not exactly a safety issue yet. I was once blamed for breaking front door at an apartment complex, and I felt that was simply because I was the foreigner. CCTV told another story. Oftentimes that will happen. Oftentimes that will happen. That would, yeah. So you need to be sure and hit the thumbs up button on this video. That's something you definitely need to be sure of. And then you need to be sure that you don't start anything with a national of the country that you're going to, a citizen of the country that you're going to, just don't start anything, because I promise you, guys, I promise you, you're going to lose. Okay, you're going to lose. Just don't start anything. And that's why I always tell people to bring plenty of additional cash and that kind of thing. Thanks, Roger. Appreciate you looking out over there. That's why we have such a tight knit family here. We only get, between 30 and 60 views at a time with a channel that has 27,000 subscribers. And I love it that way, because it's the family unity. Maple Leaf Dave, don't worry, brother. No problem. We do this very, very politically correct for YouTube. I personally don't care what you say, bro. It doesn't matter to me at all, but YouTube does. And for that reason, we have to abide by their community guidelines. So my moderators won't kick you out, won't block you from channel unless you directly attack the channel. But I don't think you're going to do that. But they will remove your comment if it has sensitive words and topics in it. So you have to learn how to disguise what you're saying. So like Roger says, we use CV for what you were talking about. Back to Thailand. When I left off on this story, I was in the parking decks of shopping malls. Every helmet is on the bike, or you might have one helmet on the handlebars of the bike and then one helmet inside the seat. But I'll leave my helmet on my bike everywhere I go. I've never had it taken, never had it, nothing happened to it. I've had my bike. Now, your bike will be moved in certain cases when you park at certain places. That has been known to happen. And I think it's fantastic that they would do that. MedTech's being funny. Why don't you join the channel, man? You're on here all the time. Become a channel member, get some inside info and some cool pictures, and get to vote on what kind of content we put out. That's what these guys did yesterday. Stuck says too many people, including Jeremy, have had their videos either demonetized or taken down because of the CV wording. Yeah, yep. That's why we do it. Stuck's got a great point there. CV cover letter. You can always say that. It doesn't matter. But when you walk into the malls in Thailand, the vast majority of the malls don't even have like scanners that you have to run your backpack through like you would have to do if you were in, say, the Philippines. Some of the malls do, and particularly now that this situation, quote unquote, also known as CV, now that it's come into play, there is more security at the malls, but mostly what they're doing is just checking your temperature. They got the little infrared thing, and it checks your temperature. So that's pretty much the worst thing that can happen to you in Thailand as far as malls go. Now, Ike says, I've been saluted before. If you come over here and as a vacationer, as Dave pointed out, which was a fair comment, if you come over as a vacationer, typically what's going to happen is you would forget that you have to leave your Western privilege on the plane that you got off of. Because when you step in on Thailand soil, it doesn't matter that you're American, Canadian, Australian, British, English, whatever, Scottish, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter, okay? Because you are now a guest in this country. And when I say you're a guest in this country, even as a long-term expat, I've been here 2 years and 1 month today, and I can tell you that I am still viewed as a guest in this country, with few exceptions. I've made some connections in my time, but until you really get to know people up the food chain, then it's hard. I don't talk about that very much because I don't want a lot of people to know. But and I'm certainly not going to go into any detail about it. But as a vacationer or a tourist, you're not going to have that unless you've been over here, 15, 16, 17 times, and you go to the same place every time. Don't start anything with a tie. That's rule number one. If you've been over here for a while and you're an expat and you live and work here and that kind of thing, and you can speak a little bit of Thai, or maybe you can have somebody come speak a little bit of Thai for you, you are much more likely to get a response, a positive response, if you are super humble in your delivery to the Thai national. Okay. I haven't seen this happen in other places. In other countries, it doesn't matter if you're very polite or not. And when I say other countries, I'm really talking about one. But I haven't seen that happen. I got here and I made a Thai mad one time, and this was when I first got here. And I was still the American, but I didn't. I had to check myself real quick. I didn't get a good. I wasn't humble enough, and being humble is something that is super important. Super important when you travel. You cannot argue with people. Listen, if you get shifted on a excursion, if they charge you too much or they don't give you enough change back, politely and humbly ask that the situation get resolved. And then politely and humbly, if they don't resolve it, ask if they can speak to a manager who could resolve it. And if it doesn't get resolved, then that's just money you lost. Don't make a big deal out of it, guys. Don't make a big deal out of it. That's my opinion. MetTech says, Groucho Marx, I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would have me. What? That's like anti-thinking to the way we think around here, but that's okay. Stuck to laughing at it. Ike says, I went into a Thai mall one time and there was a young security guard opening the door for people. He saluted me. I didn't know what to do, so I saluted back. And you'll find that very often. Many times they'll do that. Stuck says, in any foreign country, you should not argue with locals. 100%. I said that earlier in the video, and I absolutely could not agree with you more, Stuck. Don't argue with the locals. Just don't. It's a bad idea because you're going to lose. Hopping.com says cultural differences and misunderstandings, especially when alcohol is involved. Yeah, that's a good point. Can create problems. I have been punched in the face a couple of times, and I'm a really nice guy. It can. When you mix, especially for like tourists that come over, and they don't know anything about Thailand. Like, they haven't done their proper research, right? So they come over and, the girl behind the bar or the guy behind the bar starts talking to them. And us as Westerners, we have an entirely different sense of humor than they do here. I assure you. Don't bring your Western jokes over here to people that don't really speak a lot of English and joke with them, because they will think that you're serious. And you don't want them to think you're serious. I promise you. Hike says, check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's pretty much the key. Stuck says, I learned in Peru to pay your way out and move on. That's a good point. I've also been. Why do I always forget Peru? Peru was the first place I traveled outside the United States, and I always forget it. I just saw a picture from Machu Picchu yesterday that I reposted on my Facebook when I was there. But yeah, in Peru, you can pay your way out and move on, and that's pretty much the same for most countries, to be honest with you. But if you're a traveler, unless you've done some extensive planning and research, you're probably not going to know that you can do that. And also, you better be sure, if you offer that method of getting out of trouble, that the person you're talking to is going to take it, because if they don't, then you're looking at another charge for bribing an official. So you just have to be nonchalant about the situation, I would think. Roger says, that's a good point, Stuck. Very good. Roger says, 2 officers you have to salute: generals and second lieutenants. 10-4. Maple Leaf Dave said, would you consider buying a car in Thailand? Using a motorbike seems like an early death sentence, possibly. I would consider buying a car if I lived somewhere other than Bangkok. Okay? Because the traffic here in Bangkok is unbelievably massive. I mean, there are massive amounts of cars on the road. I would consider buying a car one day anyway, even living in Bangkok. But that's when my life plan kind of starts to come together, and I have the excess of cash to basically buy a car in cash. I don't want to have to finance anything over here if I don't have to. But yeah, I would consider having a car. A car is good for a lot of things, especially during the rainy season. It's also good if you want to go from here to Pattaya. It's also good if you want to go from here to Rayong, or from here to Chiang Mai, or whatever. A car's going to get you there much faster than a motorbike would, and you can stay dry while doing it. So that is an excellent question. You just have to learn how to ride as safe as possible on your motorbike over here. And when riding on a motorbike as safe as possible, that means 2 things. One, you need to be very familiar with the bike that you're on, how it handles. Make sure you don't hit a wrong button or grab the wrong brake. That could be potentially bad, very bad. And you also have to make sure that yeah, MetTech, I'm reading your comment, and I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. There are a lot of good people over here. LMAO has become a friend of mine. That's Mike. I don't know Foreigner Joe. I've never spoken to Scott, but I've watched a lot of his videos. And yeah, there are some good guys over here in Thailand and the vlogosphere for sure. And I'm happy to be able to put out information to help people. That's the whole goal behind this channel: travel, fun, photography, and education. Scott Selway, hello, and Steve, hello. Good to see you guys in the chat. I appreciate it. But on the motorbike, you really have to watch out for what everybody else is doing around you. That includes people on motorbikes, not just cars, because the way some of the Thais drive motorbikes, see, they're completely used to driving in the manner that people drive here in Thailand. Okay, so when you come over here and you're not, they're going to do things and make moves in traffic that is going to blow you away, especially when it comes to lane splitting, like going between cars. You're going to see things that you've never seen before. You're going to see motorbikes coming in from both sides, 2 lanes of cars right in the middle. I mean, yeah, traffic's pretty rough, and a car would be a better option, but a car also takes longer to go to most places than I can get there quicker on my motorbike, because I can split lanes, and I can just go a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. Go More Hike says damages. Yes, LMAO was on the stream last night, and Stuck says, I like all those vloggers. So do I. I've watched their material. I've watched all those guys' material, and as you know, Mike from I think you can say ass on here without it being a bad word, if I read correctly. But Live My Ass Off is the name of his channel, and I enjoy getting to know him, and he has a really good channel. He's also a good person for a live stream to collaborate with. So thank you for being grateful, MetTech. I appreciate that very much. Let's see. FN 2199 says, which part of Bangkok is the best to rent an apartment? That all depends on what part of Bangkok you want to be in, what your intentions are when you get here. That depends on, do you want to be close to Pattaya? Do you want to be close to Wahin? Do you want to be in the middle of Bangkok? Are you looking for just Bangkok opportunities? Do you want to live? Do you have your own transportation, or would you prefer to use the BTS and MRT for all your travels? Great question, but it all depends on what your intentions are. It's like cost of living. Every time somebody asks me a cost of living question, I always tell them your cost of living is however much money you're looking to spend. That's it. Or the amount of money you're looking to spend, I should say. Gilmore Hike says damages. No damages over here yet, thankfully. Crossing the street without a crosswalk or walk signal is rough too. Yeah, if you're going to walk over here, you have to be very, very careful in traffic and around traffic. You just got to be careful, guys. You got to be careful because in certain places, there's not really a designated crosswalk, but there's the signs that you can walk. So you have to be very careful. MetTech says best for affordability, entertainment, infrastructure. What's your priority? Exactly. What are you looking for? And that's something else I wanted to say about Thailand. One reason Thailand is the safer of the countries that I've been to, and I feel safe in it, is because I only had one incident over here where I actually felt threatened, and that was just a one-off. I still don't know what happened to that. You guys can go watch that video. But any other time, no. Even the police that I've dealt with, even in Pattaya, the police in Pattaya, they've been reasonable and easy to get along with. They give you a ticket, but I mean, they're not mean to you unless you are mean to them. And if you're mean to them, then I'm sorry, you're just stupid because you're definitely going to lose that. You're going to lose that argument for sure. And infrastructure, Thailand is about a decade in front of the Philippines in infrastructure, in my estimation, which makes it much more livable, in my opinion. I think possibly Malaysia and Singapore may be a little bit ahead in Thailand, or a little bit ahead of Thailand in some of its infrastructure. Maybe I'm not saying that for sure because I haven't spent enough time there to see. But as far as your on the east of the Southeast Asian countries, Thailand's about your best bet as far as infrastructure goes. I know Vietnam is working on some pretty big projects, but they're not there yet. And likewise with the Philippines. Yeah, Bangkok is huge. Stuck says Bangkok is huge. That's a very open question. I agree. Hopping says that go right crossing the street with a crosswalk. Or walk signal isn't much better. That's so true. Dave says every trip to Thailand has resulted in a extreme sore throat for me within the first few days. Is this common? Is it the pollution, air quality? Absolutely, that's common. And if you're coming, especially if you're coming to Bangkok, or you go to a small city with lots of people, such as Pattaya, or even the city part of Rayong, you'll get that. Because of the air quality is bad over here. My suggestion to you is to buy a cheap mask. I'm looking to see if I have one laying here, but I don't. Buy a cheap mask, just a cotton mask to put over your face while you're out in if you're on a motorbike or in a cab, while you're out in public. I mean, on the roads, just wear that mask, and when you get to your destination, take it off. And that will prevent probably 95% of your sore throat problems. I got a sore throat when I moved to Bangkok too, and it was from the air quality. I started using the mask, no problem. I mean, it literally went away the next day. Hack says, Maple Leaf, do you know about the air conditioner tip? Maple Leaf says, clean the filter. Hack said, no, don't leave the cold air blowing on your face and throw it all night. Set the vents not to blow directly. Yeah, that's a good one. Not to blow directly on you. That's good. MedTech says at least a decade, bro. Yeah, in terms of the Philippines versus Thailand, their infrastructure. I'm talking about the infrastructure. Would be at least a decade behind. It's got to be. I mean, if you disagree, please, by all means, tell me why you disagree, because I guarantee you, I could shoot it right now. It's not that's no problem for me. Ike says, oh wait, Steve says, are there any days in Bangkok weather or in Bangkok weather-wise that are comfortable and pleasant? And the answer is sort of. There is sort of. When the rainy season is first over, there comes a period of time after that where it can be pretty comfortable to live here. Particularly, I would say, let's see, February and March are not bad months. They're in terms of temperature wise and weather wise, humidity wise, that kind of thing. They're not bad months to come by and live or to vacation here, to live here, or whatever. They're actually pretty comfortable, and the amount of air pollution can be significant, but again, it depends on where you're going to go. Good question, though, Steve. Ike says also during the day there's air pollution, so mask too. Yeah, that's what I meant. Keep your mask on during when you're out and about on the streets. Oh, show. Oh, MedTech says no. I agree, and then some. Yeah. Well, I say a decade because, like, yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to make them sound like an inferior country because they're not. And there are plenty of good people in the Philippines, but you have taking all things into consideration. Yeah. And I thought I thought you were agreeing. I just wanted to throw that out there just in case you weren't. Regarding air pollution, I heard that masks are really popular and fashionable these days. They really are. And even here in Thailand, I saw it some in the Philippines, but definitely in Thailand, there are mask wearing is almost like putting on a shirt. A lot of people wear this stuff, and they wear it like normal because, especially in the bigger cities like here in Bangkok. Well, when I was in Rayong for 16 months, and just about everybody there wore a mask most of the time. So go figure. It's part of part of the normalcy here in Thailand. Again, depending on what city you're going to. Regarding air pollution, I heard that. Oh yeah, I just read that. Dave says, "Thanks for the advice, guys. You are more than welcome, sir." Hopping says, "I'm a big fan of the BTS SkyTrain in the Philippines." That's only in Manila, right? That's the only place I know of where it runs to and from is right around Manila. Dave says, "I booked an." I think he meant to type onward flight for Songkran next year, hoping to be able to travel. Hard to predict what type of world restriction will be in place. Well, here's my thing, guys. You don't have to hello, Bob Sears, who subscribed to my channel sometime yesterday, I think. Good to see you, man. There doesn't need to be a new normal, okay? There just needs to be a get back to life. That's just my opinion. I don't. If I was in the U.S., I would make a big deal out of it. But I'm not. I'm a guest in another country, so I will do whatever they say. But my personal opinion is, you know, at some point, I'm not talking about just Thailand. I'm or Thailand specific here. I'm saying in general, the world has got to get restarted. Like things have to happen, or you're going to see a significant uh, tragedy, really. And I don't want that to happen to anybody for any reason. Steve says, "What's easier at 3 a.m. flagging a metered cab or getting into a fight at the Waffle House?" That's a, you know what? That's a pretty good question, man. I'm gonna go for the Waffle House. I would say that would be easier probably. To be honest with you, lucky for me, I'm never out at 3 a.m. so I don't have to worry about that. Bob says Japan was wearing them 45 years ago that I know. And I believe you, Bob. I've seen pictures. In fact, last night I watched a docu series on. I want to make sure I say this right. Tiana, Tiana, Tiananmen Square, right there in 1989, and there were people wearing masks back then. Hopping says, I often forget to put my mask on when I am leaving my condo and going out. I usually get to the ground floor before I realize I have to go all the way back up to get it. That happens to me every once in a while for sure. Bob in the house, I seen you around the Live My Ass Off channel. Yes, sir. We all love Mike for sure. Scott Selway says people here are tired of staying in place order. Where are you at, Scott? I assume you're in America. But just verify that for me, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on that. Hike says, is there a Waffle House in Thailand? There is no Waffle House, and man, if there was, ooh, that would be a bunch of fat people. Steve says, no Waffle House in Thailand, but plenty in the New South. Plenty in the South? They have Waffle Houses in the South of Thailand? Or are you talking about the South of the country you're from? I didn't know Waffle House existed over here. Dave says, love the Sizzler in Thailand. Yeah, Sizzler, you can't go wrong with Sizzler, man. They have some of the best food, cheap, and a cheap buffet. I mean, the salad bar buffet, I think it's either it's like 199 baht or something, or 159 baht. All you can eat off the salad bar. It's good. Scott says, Southern California. Okay, and Steve. Oh, Steve's talking about South USA. Yeah. So, Scott says there's plenty of Waffle Houses. And no, what did he say? People here are tired of the stay in place order. When it comes to America and that stay in place order, if it was me, I'm just speaking for myself. If I was in the States right now and somebody told me that I was under stay in place order, I would refer them to several articles of the Constitution, and then I would continue on about my business. It is my opinion that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is the principle that guides America. And if you are interfering with that, you are doing something illegal. That's just my personal opinion. I wouldn't care what kind of consequences there were. If I needed to get out and go to work, I'd go to work. If I needed to get out and, I'm of course, I would wear a mask and take all the safety precautions that I could. But at the same time, you're not going to tell me in the States, you're not going to tell me here, you tell me to stay home, I'm staying home. But in the States, you're not going to tell me to stay home. I'm not, or you can tell me, but I'm not going to. I have the freedom and the right to travel without just look at the Fourth Amendment. Look at the Fourth Amendment. Will help you with that, and you'll understand. If you ever read the Fourth Amendment of the United States, it's basically everybody has their right to travel in security with their documents and I can't recite everything, but it's basically it gives you the right to travel in what am I looking for when somebody interrupts your travel? To travel, let's just say to travel uninterrupted. And that's the Constitution. And there's been no amendment made to it. And I don't think an executive order by a state can override that. Just my opinion. Hike says, yeah, I laugh when I see the Sizzler in Thailand. I love Sizzler in Thailand, man. It's great. Hike says, next thing I see is Logan's Roadhouse. I don't know what that is. MedTech says, Mike has a natural comedic timing. His channel deserves more views. I agree. FN 2199 are BTS and MRT on shutdown now in Bangkok. Nope. How do you move around? I have a NMAX motorbike, and that's how I move around. So the BTS and MRT are running right now. Scott says we had protests at all our beaches here. Yeah, but you shouldn't have to protest. You shouldn't have to protest. That's the problem. In my opinion, your governor's the problem. But that's again, that's just my opinion. You have the right to be out there. Period. And we don't talk about politics on this channel, so I'm not going to dive any more into it. I'm just going to say that as an American citizen, you're entitled to all constitutional privileges. And for the ones that say, if you leave the house, you're putting my family in danger. Leave the house with a mask. Leave the house with hand sanitizer. You're not putting anybody else in danger. It's just bleh, bleh. I'm glad I'm not there. Let me put it that way. Bob says it's getting real political economy over safety. Too bad. Yeah, could be. Frank, I just saw that pop up. I'll get back to you, bud. But the economy is part of safety, because you have to look at it like this. If people sit around the house and can't go anywhere long enough, it literally does them harm. Okay, because they start getting angry at the slightest little thing. Some of the best people in the world that you've ever met will turn into a different person. That's why they have, like, in prison, solitary confinement, that kind of thing. That's why it's used as extreme punishment, because isolation, it is probably, other than the death penalty, is probably the worst punishment you could face as a human being. Just my opinion. Steve says, Carl Jr. and Taco Bell on Succulent Soy 11 threw me for a loop. Who's going to eat there with all the great local food? I don't know, man, but I've eaten at the Taco Bell here in Bangkok, and I love the Taco Bell. But there is a good mixture of food down there. There's also, in the area I live, which is the western part of Bangkok, there's also a lot of good food here too, for sure. Dave says, let's just agree. Let's get a vaccine ASAP. Oh, can't use that word. We can't use that word and get life back to normal. But that's okay, Dave. Don't worry. You're a new one. We don't, that's why I'm very nonchalant. I'm very beating around the bush when I'm talking about these things. And yes, I don't normally bring up this topic at all. But since it came up, it came up. I want to talk about safety in Thailand, and we will here in just a minute. Bob says, I mean, between the states. Yeah, I got you, Bob. I got you. like me. I hear you, bud. MedTech says, fortunately, Indiana has adopted a say la vie attitude, totally different to Michigan. It took me a minute to get say la vie. Um, yeah, that is a good thing. It's good for you. Very good for you. Absolutely. Uh, Live your life, man. Fancy French talk up in here. Uh, Actually, I think that's Latin, if I'm not mistaken, or is it French? It might be French. Hopping says Taco Bell isn't very common in my home country, so I'd like to try Taco Bell in Bangkok when I have a chance. You can try Taco Bell in Bangkok, but it's still not the same as Taco Bell in America. I can tell you that. But give it a try. You never know. You might like it. Steve says Taco Bell in Thailand and China just doesn't look right and more expensive than U.S. pricing. It is. It's a little more expensive. A little more expensive for sure. Dave says, are the Thai men overly jealous of foreigners dating their women? I've never had that problem. I've never seen that problem. I would, based on my personal experience, I would say no, which contributes to the safety of Thailand. There's not a lot of, if there is embassy, if there is envy and jealousy here in Thailand, then you're likely, how can I say that? You likely won't see it, or it will be really bad when it does break. One of the two. For the most part, you probably won't ever see it or ever hear about it. Subway, eat fresh. Yes, go more hike. I love me some Subway for sure, and that is one of my favorite restaurants to eat at. There's probably some very near me. I just haven't found them yet. So I do know when I go to Pattaya, I go to the Subway there on the corner of Soy Bacau and Linky and Deanna, right where they meet there. I go to that Subway pretty often. Matt Tech says, I don't know too, but I never ask another man for permission. Just to your mother. that's that's kind of my feeling. Let's see. Thumbs up, everybody. Yeah, we got some people in. Please give a thumbs up. I'd love it. So, if some of you guys want to join the channel as a channel member, it's only $2.99 a month, and right now you're getting the ability to suggest content. You're getting members only posts, which I detail some things that I don't put out publicly, and you're also getting members only pictures. Coming soon, I'm gonna add another perk to the $2.99 tier before I build another tier. So there's only one tier right now, and it's $3 a month, and you would be surprised at how much it helps the channel. Maple Leaf Dave says, "Do you eat spicy?" No, no spicy. My pit. I do not eat spicy Thai food. I can't do it. My stomach is just not going to it. Hide that comment just for safety purposes, please. Let's see. Scott says they probably say, take our gold digger, please. I don't know that. There are some really good women here in Thailand, man. And and there are plenty that are chasing money. But really, when you compare Thailand to like the States or something like that, you got to, you kind of have to understand that they do the same thing in the States. They just go about it a different way. Buy me a Prada purse, or put me up in your house, or take me out to expensive dinners, that kind of thing. Either way you go, most of the time, somebody's looking for money. But I hear you, Scott. I hear you. I understand what you're saying, man. William says pictures, question mark. Yeah, I put up some pictures of my travels, and I put up pictures of photo shoots that I've done back in America, over in the Philippines, and here in Thailand. So they're not bad pictures because they have to abide by YouTube's community guidelines. But I'm working with some people from this channel on building a website in which you can get to see some special pictures. But that's down the road. I ain't saying she's going to. Victory Lap Life. You should start a merch store. That hat might be awesome with the DoMoreLife logo. It would be. I have a merch store. It's if you look in the description of this video, it's at Teespring. It's the Teespring link. So go to the description and hit show more, and you'll see the Teespring link down there. And I have some awesome I have some awesome DoMoreLife merchandise down there. And Go More Hikers just put up the PayPal link if anybody wants to contribute, because we're going to start winding down a little bit here at the hour mark. I'm not just yet, but I'm going to start winding it down. There's a few more things I need to say about safety in Thailand. But yeah, I do have a merch store, Victory Lap. So if you would like to get pick up some merch, just hit the Teespring link below. It'll take you to the store. Click on the storefront, and it'll open up. There's shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, cell phone cases. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Bags, all that stuff. Ball Around the World says, try Wings Factory, west side of Bangkok. Kind kid owner speaks English. Great wings. I think it meant kind owner speak English. Great wings. Cool. West side of Bangkok. Kid owner speaks English. Great wings. I will have to try that, man. I will have to try that. I will definitely have to try that. Did somebody say merch? Yeah, somebody did say merch. Ike. There's the Victory Lap. You were talking about merch. At the bottom of the screen is the Teespring link to my merch store. Now, when you look at the storefront, there are only 2 pieces of merchandise on there. So you just have to hit the storefront and it'll open up to everything. Cool doodads on Teespring. Yes, there is, for sure. Let me look at this real quick. Okay, good. One more thing I wanted to check. All right. Now, let's see. Scott says, just kidding. I know a Thai woman in the government accounting office. Yeah, that's a good. Anytime you know Thai people in government official positions, that's always a good thing for sure. Gomer says, sponsor or contribute to content with the PayPal link there, and that is always recommended, or not recommended. Excuse me. That's always appreciated, very, very, very much, because it allows things like upkeep of equipment and everything else. It keeps the channel going, and I appreciate it very much. MetTech says, hard pass on the special pictures. Yes, I'm joking. There will be. I just have to get the website set up. It's going to be a little bit different, but it'll be okay. William says, would you recommend Thai Cupid to meet online? No, I'll maybe Thai Friendly or just Tinder. Thai Cupid, I mean, you can use it, but I've never personally had any luck with it. Thai Friendly and Tinder are about the 2 best ways to go in terms of meeting women here in Thailand. And it's also fairly safe to meet women here in Thailand too. That's something else I wanted to bring up. Most of the time, when you meet women here in Bangkok or in Thailand in general, they're going to be honest with you about what they look like and whether or not they are a real woman. That is one kind of exclusivity that I love about Thailand, because Thailand, the girls are going to tell you they're girls, and the other people are going to tell you that they're not. So, or they are, but you understand. Okay. Ball Around the World says some of the prettiest scenery I ever saw. You were standing on a wet road in the Philippines. Yeah, that was probably when I was up north around the Solano, Bambang area, up in that. Probably I was doing a walk and talk video, I'm sure. Or oh, I think I know where you're talking about. That was out at my girlfriend at the time. That was out at her aunt's farm, rice farm, and that was some beautiful scenery. Definitely, Bob. Roger says if anyone wants to contribute to the channel, I'll match it up to $50. Roger, you are the man. You are the man. So Hike, if you don't mind, can you throw the PayPal link up again and see if we have any takers on Roger's $50 in contributions. So if we get up to $50, Roger will match whatever we get. You are the man, Roger. Good for you. $5 contribution, $10 contribution. And that'll be awesome. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's the Teespring link, Hike, that you just put up. Where was I at in the comments? Gomer Hike says, wait. Roger says, I had great luck. Wait, no, sorry. MetTech says, not personally recommend it, but I don't know how he finished that sentence. Roger says, I had great luck on Asian Friendly, William. Yeah, I've tried that, and that is a pretty good site, William. I mean, Roger. That is a pretty good site. Hike says, William, you ain't going to have any problems finding a woman in Thailand. Even I can do it. And it's true. It really is true. Some of the nicest women you'll ever meet, in my opinion, are here. And even if you're just looking for some company every once in a while, then it's super easy. There's not a secret to it. There's not a remedy. There's not a not remedy. That was the wrong word. There's really nothing. There's really nothing negative that can happen because if you live in a place like I live that has massive security cameras and everything else and guards and all that stuff and people have to sign in, then it's fair game. It's fair game. I would bet that Roger would probably, because some of you may not understand how PayPal works, but I would bet that Roger will probably match that even if we got it in super chats. So up to $50 in super chats. I'm gonna ask Roger if he's okay with that too. We prefer PayPal on this channel, but super chats are always more than welcome, and any contribution goes towards equipment and traveling, and that's it. It doesn't go in my pocket. I don't live off of it. Hype says, William, you ain't go. Oh, I read that. MetTech says not recommending it, but there's an app named Meet Me for meeting Thais. I didn't know that. Roger says, Victory, we use LD for that. And there is the Teespring link and the PayPal link. William says, I'm in the States right now. Okay. So I got caught up with the comments there. Now I can talk about a few other aspects of safety. One of the aspects I was going to bring up is something you guys just brought up, which is the, I guess you could say the aspect of how safe is it to meet women here. In my opinion, meeting a woman here is far safer than it is in some other countries I've met women. They may have ulterior motives, but you'll be able to see that almost immediately. most of the women that are on Tinder and Thai friendly are just looking for companionship. Basically, they're just looking for somebody to hang out with, and if they see a nice looking foreigner, then it's really not hard to get a date over here, if unless you're somebody like me who for some reason I just can't seem to hold one down. I don't know what the problem is, but with that being said, that is a safer part of Thailand, and I want to talk about the overall safety as a whole in Thailand. The country of Thailand, in my opinion, is far safer than anywhere else I've traveled in Southeast Asia, other than places like that I've traveled to, such as just examples, Malaysia, um, Taiwan. Those places I haven't got to spend a lot of time in. So it's definitely safer than Peru. I can tell you that. Um, all these things matter and they're important. The you know you don't really have to worry about anything unless you really make a Thai national mad, or if you dump a girlfriend in the wrong way and she has brothers and family members that already didn't like you. There's could be a problem there, but usually that stuff gets sorted out pretty like calmly, I would say, in a much more calm manner than others. Sorry guys, this hat's getting on my nerves, so we're going to my cubano. There we go. MetTech 299 super chat. Thanks for your chats. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate it very much. I hope Roger will allow that to count. We'll let him know. Victory lap. I'm reading your comment. Downfall of the West, almost mine. Yeah, definitely wouldn't be. If you're not in some type of recovery program, I would advise you not to travel Thailand, because that could be a serious problem for you. And if you get wasted, this is what I was saying the other day. If you get wasted and you start some stuff with Thai citizens, dude, you're in bad. That's a recipe for disaster. Thai guy Bri, what is up, my man? Hope you're doing well. He says, I've always felt safe in Thailand when I'm on my own or with friends. Me too. I think it's because I'm respectful and not an idiot. Exactly. That's all you have to do is be respectful, and be humble when you talk to people. Just be humble. Be humble and be nice. There's not really much. There's no secret sauce to the safety of Thailand. Be humble, be respectful. You're already in a very safe country, in my opinion. So if you practice the humility and the acceptance that things are got. This is something else you have to remember. If you're coming over here on vacation, or you're coming to live, or you're just coming to come for whatever reason, something at some point is not going to go the way you planned it. Okay, it's just not going to go the way you planned it. I'm sorry, guys, it's not. So you're going to have to be ready to accept some kind of how can I say this? Some kind of injunction that you don't want to have, because somewhere you're going to get held up. Somewhere the bus line's not going to run on time. Sometimes, yeah, William, I got you, bud. I understand. You can you can do that in just about anywhere in Thailand. Because of the way he spelled it, you can leave that up there, guys. So that's cool. But I have to say, safety here is things that you have it's like a weight off your shoulders. Like, you just don't have to worry about it, right? You just don't have to worry about it. Don't put yourself in an awkward position. You probably won't be harmed, jailed, or ticketed, or fined if you don't put yourself in that position. 99.9% of the time, an expat or a foreigner, traveler, vacationer, whatever, gets into trouble, it's their own fault. I'm sorry, but it is. William says definitely. I already read that. Bob says may Penrai way. LOL. I don't speak a lot of Thai, Bob. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to learn. Perfect setup. William said. So basically, be respectful of people. Yeah, be respectful of people, and more importantly than people, be respectful of their culture. So instead of waving at people, they don't wave here in Thailand. They do the Y, spelled WAI. So you're Y when you meet people, and when that happens, the higher the hands and the deeper the bow, the more respected the person is. Something you got to get used to, something you got to see practiced a few times, something, it's just something you have to see. For those of you who are just joining us, Roger threw out a PayPal challenge, or you can do it in Super Chat too, I would imagine. I don't think Roger would have a problem with it. Up to $50, Roger will match the total contributions up to $50. That would be great. That made me feel even better when I go to buy my camera. Hopping says sometimes taxi, motorbike, or taxi drivers chance their luck. I agree. I don't take offense and just tell them that that's it, too much, and try to renegotiate. That's a fair way to do it. What I do when it comes to the taxi is try to negotiate the final price before I get in the car or on the bike. That's a 100% foolproof plan. The only problem with that is if you change where you're going, like if the taxi driver or the motorbike taxi or the actual taxi, if the driver changes or didn't understand you correctly when you're going, that's why I always show them on Google Maps so they can look at it first. Because I had that happen to me once, and I will never let it happen again. That's the only time you will run into problems. So negotiate the price first. Thank you for throwing up the PayPal link. Go more hike. That should make things easy for people. Matt Tech says the reason that people say I remind them of Brad Pitt is that I don't sweat the little things here or there. And that's a good attitude to have over here. If you're the type of person that can let little things go and you don't really worry about, the small stuff, this is the place for you, dude. It really is. And Tybra says, and culture. Yeah, be respectful of the culture. Understand that most people over here are Buddhist, and understand that people over here are family oriented, that kind of thing. That's just the way it happens. Stuck in Florida says, cool, still going. I was gone for a while. That's okay, man. I know you bounce around moderating channels, but but I love you anyway. Roger put out a PayPal challenge. He said anything up to $50 he would match. So I thought that was pretty cool of him. And I told people that I'm definitely going to be trying to get that, or not trying, I'm going to be getting that camera this month as soon as the retail stores open over here. So as soon as the retail stores open, I'm going to get the camera because it should be on sale. And if it's not on sale, I'm going to be very, very, very agitated. Stuck in Florida says, oh, you had a phone call. No problem, man. No problem. No sweat at all. Roger says, come on, make me pay. We need a camera. Yes, we do, because there's a chance that I can, actually, there's not a chance. It's doable. I just have to figure out how to do it. I can set that camera up right here when I'm talking to you guys, and you guys can watch me in 4K. So I can plug that into the computer. You can watch me in 4K. You can watch me in 1080p. It's going to be all kinds of new good stuff, good fun for the channel. Good. I won't say better content. I say better visual content. But I've been waiting on this camera because I have so many ideas of how I want to continue the channel moving in the direction I want it to go, along with your guys' help, because you guys call the shots. I'm just here to facilitate. And I want to be able to facilitate that way, the way I envision the channel going. And I think we're doing that because I even got a comment this morning that said, I really don't like going on some of these larger YouTubers live streams sometimes because being on your channel is like so calm and peaceful that nobody's talking junk. Everybody's being so respectful and that kind of thing. And I said, yeah, when I first started having my first moderators in here, I set the rules explicitly. Like, we're not going to talk. There are 3 things we don't talk about on this channel. Roger says, I suck at this. We need Jim. Yeah, well, Jim's okay. I think Jim's busy today. William says, dang, a lot of the girls on Thai Friendly are, yeah, they are. And they're very easy to contact, too. You don't suck at this, Roger. You don't suck at this. People that really appreciate the channel understand. But what I was doing is sign up for Tinder and you will have matches galore in Thailand. That's true, Dave. Very true. Where I was going with this was there are 3 things we don't talk about on this channel. Okay, politics, religion, and women that we've both slept with. Those are 3 things. That's my rules. Other than that, we're good. We're good, and we try to talk about as much as we possibly can on here, and we have to do it in a politically correct manner because that is what YouTube says we have to do. Yeah, so that's kind of how it works. I'm very happy we had a new member sign up today. That was great. A little disappointed that we haven't had anybody take you up on your PayPal, Roger, other than oh, he says it's the middle of the week and hard times. Yeah, I agree, Stuck. I agree 100%. I've just seen, I guess it's because I've been watching other channels some the past few weeks. I just see the super chats roll in and roll in and roll in and roll in. And, I remember a time, again, we're in hard times. I understand 100% what you're saying, Stuck, 100%. But I remember, like, we have 40 viewers right now. I remember, and you probably remember the Friday night for you that we had 40 people in the chat and the channel made $650. So that was a heck of a night for sure. But I understand people are at work and all that stuff. Personally, I hope they do another round of the stimulus checks because if I was to get another $1,200, then that would put me back on course for everything. I've been saving my money, and the reason I hadn't got the camera yet is twofold. One, I just got the check from the U.S. The other is I have to renew my insurance in June, and I really got to talk to Ross. Where's Ross? Has anybody seen Ross? But I really have to talk to Ross and find out how I need to go about doing that, and it's going to cost me about $1,400. So I'm looking at about $3,500 here coming out in the next 4 weeks. So that's why we're doing that. In case you guys wonder, that's why we do the PayPal stuff and the super chats and all that stuff. Very interesting. I read these messages as they come in. Those are not PayPals. If they were, I would tell you for sure. But you can always sign up to be a channel member and get a few perks. I'm going to be adding a couple perks to the regular $2.99 membership now, and I will make another tier, a mid tier, and then I will have a big like a super tier for some really, 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 really cool stuff. And safety in Thailand, I'll wrap it up or start to wrap it up. Stuck says I'm out 2,000 in rents between last month and this month. It says, yeah, I like I said, 100% understand. If you're in the real estate, I know they signed some kind of bill into action where it waived rent for 2 or 3 months. So if you're a person that depends on rental income, then you're out of some money. I get it. I totally get it. Totally get it. We did have one super chat from MetTech though, and I appreciated it very much. That was very nice of him. But remember this, guys, when you're coming to Thailand, just come humble, and if you come humble, you're very likely to be safe. Okay? Very likely to be safe. MedTech says, yes, a tenant is late for me too. Should I throw her out? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It depends on where you live and depends on what the laws are. But I appreciate everybody's intention or everybody's attention in the chat today. Victory Lap gave $2. Thank you very much. This $2 is on layaway for beer when I travel. I hear you, bud. Thank you very much. So if you want to get in any last minute contributions to see what Roger throws out at the end here, you can certainly get those in. I'll give it about 1 minute, and we'll see what pops up, if anything, if anybody wants to throw anything in. Also, looking out, Stuck in Florida says I wouldn't, but all evictions are on hold right now in Florida. Oh, yeah, I understand. I understand because my friend has got property on the other side of the country, and he's going through the exact same thing. So completely understand stuff. The fact that you became a channel member of mine is good enough for me, and I really appreciate that. So you guys can become channel members, and we're definitely going to be adding a few perks or adding at least one more perk to that tier. And I think you'll enjoy it. Or we'll be building a new tier for it. MetTech says, I wouldn't too. I'm not that mean. I hear you, brother. Come to Thailand, guys. Come to Thailand and visit Paradise. There's so many good beaches over here. So much good food. The food is just outstanding in Thailand. I have finally learned how to eat Thai food without it being spicy, and that's because I asked for it not spicy before they cook it. So they just cook it without some of the chilies in it, and it's good, and I can eat it. For those of you that don't know, I have some digestive problems and a few other little things that cause me not to be able to eat really spicy food. So people ask me, why'd you move to Thailand if you don't want to eat spicy food? Because there's a lot more to Thailand than just food. That's why I tell people that come here for the nightlife, there's a lot more to Thailand than just the nightlife. I mean, temples, mountains, excursions, rivers, all kinds of stuff you can see here. And really one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been in. Stuck says, I don't know which I miss the most, the people or the food. I hear you, buddy. The people around here are super nice, super nice. So once you get to know them a little bit, and here's a factor for a little bit difference for you. People in like the States, for example, most of the time you have to get to know them for a long period of time before you find out who they really are. Here, the Thais only need to know you for a short period of time. You need to make them laugh one time, and then you're pretty much friends. I mean, really, it comes down to that. And that's one thing I love about Thailand. Matt Tech says, I want to, Jeremy. My girlfriend's birthday is this month, and I will miss it because of travel restrictions and uncertainties. Ah, I hate that, man. I hate that. But you guys will be able to get here. With that, I'm going to shut it down. Roger, I want to thank you very much for trying your best. I really appreciate it, brother. And Victory Lap and Met Tech, thank you both for the super chats. Very, very much appreciated. I hope you guys got some good, valuable, relative, pertinent information out of this. That always makes me feel good. And if you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Stuck says, fix something for them and you will never run out of food. That's 100% correct. Victory Lap says, I'd like to go to a beach without being policed during lockdown. Oh, yeah. I said the word too, didn't I, Robert? We use LD for that. But I was reading too fast. Roger says 5 more minutes. Okay, I'll go 5 more minutes. Hopping says, cheers, take care. And Hopping, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. We really, really appreciate it. Welcome to the family. And welcome to the Inside Scoop. You will now receive. Where's Cody and Jim? That's what I'm wondering. 2 people that are often in here, and I don't see them. So, Cody, if you're watching the end of this video, I miss you, brother, and I wish you were in here. I haven't seen a comment from you. And same thing for Jim. Now I get it. LD. Yeah, there you go, Victory Lap. There you go. It's just a YouTube formality that we have, and it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. It's nothing against you personally, or anybody else personally. Like the new Dave that was in the stream today. Like he said, sorry, he's a newbie. He doesn't know. So if you don't know, you don't know. But once you know, you can never again say you didn't know. That's something somebody told me. Stuck says, I built a chicken coop for an older lady for a week. Everyone in her family brought me food. That's so awesome, man. And I believe that 100%. Victory Lap says, thought LD meant something. I was ignoring the other chat. You can't say the G word either. It's tough to get things going in here. But once you get used to it, you can chat away. We use code words for a lot of things, like drinking companions or fitness trainers. Those are the people that we go to see and spend time with in places like Pattaya. Yeah, you just have to get used to the lingo. That's all there is to it. We want you in here. Oh man, Roger's gonna send 50 is on its way. Get that camera. Roger, love you and thank you for that, man. I'll wait for it to come through so I can show everybody. And man, I wish your 50 could have been matched by somebody. I feel bad that you're giving all the money, but I really appreciate that very, very much. When it comes through, I will definitely, my phone's open. When it comes through, I'll show everybody so they'll know that you are not lying. William says, yoga instructor, LOL. Yeah, you could say that too. Matt Tech says, what is the concern? Demonetization. Yes, sir. That is the concern. That is the concern. Or limited ads. Yeah, Roger says that's correct. That is the concern, and that's something that we've all had to get used to. It is what it is. YouTube provides a platform for me to engage with you guys. So because they're providing the platform, they're providing the coding, they're providing the tech support, they're providing all that, then I have to follow their rules. Victory Lap says, get some beautiful shots with a good camera. You know I will. I'm telling you, when I get this camera, I've already got the lens for it because I have a older Olympus camera. So when I get the camera, if I can afford it, I'm going to get another lens with it that will take my vlogging probably to another level, especially as I'm out and about walking around. This camera has so much IBIS, or in-body image stabilization, plus it has optical stabilization, that I just hold it in my hand and carry it. There's no shake in the video at all. That's how valuable it is to me as a camera. Bob says, one day my wife was boiling water bugs. After spending time finding them, I came in after, saw the bugs, and tossed them out the window. She freaked. Boiling water bugs. Wow. Bob Stuck says, Bob, water bugs are bitter. Whew. Derek, what's up, man? He says, how far off are you from getting this new camera? Well, it's pretty much a done deal, but it's gonna the reason Roger's sending $50 is because it's going to pretty much deplete the travel and equipment account, which is PayPal and Super Chat money that I use. That was not the PayPal, guys. Sorry. Roger said he just sent 50, and I'm waiting on it to come through via email or PayPal. So his goal was, Roger said, if people will contribute to up to $50, I'll match it. And we got 2 super chats that I appreciate very much, but they were didn't come anywhere close to 50. So the new camera's coming one way or the other. It's just what is life going to be like? What kind of mic can I get with the camera? Can I really drastically improve the audio? Can I buy another lens with the camera? Can I do it all depends on, am I going to have enough money left in my savings to still feel comfortable living? So variety of factors there. Good question, but a variety of factors. Bob's laughing at me. MetTech says it's childish of YouTube advertisers to fear discussion of current events. You're not blameworthy. Yeah, I know, but it's the advertisers. It's them. It's definitely not us. We should be allowed to discuss it if we have legitimate thoughts or concerns about it. Roger, I don't know why the PayPal has not come in. Let me check PayPal itself, because usually your stuff comes through right away. And I don't see it. Not yet. Not yet. But we shall see. We shall see. I keep going for a little bit. I like to talk. Hike says, you still on? I just got out of the shower. Yeah, I'm still talking, man. We're still trying to Roger's sending in 50. We're still trying to match that 50. Stuck says, MetTech, it's ridiculous, but for now, YouTube is the best platform for views. I agree, Stuck. I agree 100% with both of those statements that you made. Victory Lap says, well, getting a cold and need to stay home for the next few days with all the paranoia, checking out live streamers. Keep it coming. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Roger says, dang, hope I'm not broke. Yeah, I hope you're not either. Just make, does it say that it's sent or that it came out of your PayPal account or whatever? Derek C says, it takes a while for PayPal now. I sent one the other night during your broadcast, but it never showed up while you were on. It showed up right as I went off. I remember that, Derek, and I thanked you for it in the following video the next day. Go More Hike says, we need this dang camera. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I think it'll be a big benefit. And I'm also looking at, depending on how costs are laid out and if there is a sale on this camera that at that moment, that kind of thing, Number one, I'm definitely going to be able to get out and do more videos like outside of here. Even though we enjoy live streams, but they do get boring from time to time. But I'll be able to get out and do more vlogging for sure with much higher quality. This camera will essentially shoot 4K at 60 frames per second, which means that I can have not only 4K video, which I'm not going to do a lot of 4K because it eats up so much memory on my computer. Short videos may be done in 4K, just so you can see them. Like I may do little 3 or 4 minute snippets, that kind of thing, of some beautiful places, and shoot it in 4K and export it in 4K, and then you can watch it in 4K. But 4K is not, how do I say this? 4K is not ideal for the computer system I have and or the bandwidth I have on internet here. So I'm going to work with it, see how it goes. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll go well. I certainly hope so. Roger, I think you did something wrong, man, because it ain't it's been a long time and I haven't gotten a message from PayPal or email. So yeah. If you send it if you try to send it via my old email address, the one that I used to give, that won't work anymore. You can't send it via that email. You can send it via the PayPal link though. Or if I need to give you the email, the new email, let me know. Victory Lap said, let's see, what are we saying? We need to stay in camera. Yes, we do. Victory Lap says, go more hike as long as DoMoreLife trims those nose ear hairs. Nose ear hairs. Okay, we'll work on that. Hike says Olympus should give you this camera. You've given them free press for months. That's so true. I have. Definitely have. Stuck says apparently PayPal is being slow because he hasn't received mine yet either. Oh, I didn't know you threw in Stuck. Yeah, it must be slow because I used the link Go More Hike posted. Let's see. You are using the PayPal link with the numbers 1980 at the end. Yes. That should be. I'm going to read it out to you guys. Actually, I'm going to put it on screen so you can see it. Just to make sure everybody's on the same page because I've never seen this happen before. That is the link right there. That's the link. So if you guys look at that and you use that, that is how you will get to me. Now you'll need to put www in front of that .paypal.me and then / Jeremy Clodfelter 1980. Roger says I used the same one I did the other night. Maybe it's just taking a while for it to come through. That's just extremely. Oh, Stuck. Yours came through, but it doesn't have. How did Roger's not come through? Roger, you said you sent 50, right? Or was that from the other? No, that's from today. Okay. All right. Here's Roger for today. I'm going to cover everything I can up so nobody can see anything else. But do you see that it says $23.97? So in other words, that would be a $25 send. That's from, you see it says today up there in the corner, Roger? Today? Okay. Same thing for Stuck, but I can't reveal his name. But there's $9.41. I can't show you his information. but there's $9.41 from him. So I guess he sent a $10 contribution as well. So thank you very much, Stuck. And even if 25 is what you decided to send, Roger, thank you very much. That's quite a bit of money for today, and I'm just as happy with it as I could possibly be. Always a good thing. Always a good thing. I appreciate you guys helping to keep the channel running. I love it. Let's see. MedTech says no PayPal. Don't dust the super chat. That's okay. Victory Lap says heard Canon was better for color and autofocus. Olympus. Canon is best for Canon's new R5 that they're about to release. Has the dual pixel autofocus, and with that comes all cross types on their center points. I've shot Canon my entire life. I just had Olympus on the side. I'm a huge Canon fan. If I had the money, I would be buying the Canon R5 when it comes out. Love Canon cameras. MetTech says I have, and MetTech says I have fond memories of 1980. Dad took me to see Flash Gordon and Empire Strikes Back in the same year. Reminiscing. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, Roger, you check on it later, man. That's no problem. I don't know why it says that, but that's what it says. It says $23.97. Yeah, it says today, May 13th, 9:51 a.m. That would be this time, 9:51 a.m. So it's all good, man. It's all good one way or the other. It doesn't matter. You guys that help out and contribute, I appreciate it more than you could possibly imagine. And it's good enough, man. Stuck says, that's strange. With my account, you should have received the full amount. Well, I didn't, because they charged the, I don't know if it's 1% or whatever it is. You get like, it's a lot less than YouTube, because YouTube takes 30%. So out of a $10, okay, Roger, did you just send another 25? That was correct. Just send it. Okay, I got it on PayPal, but there's no there's no ringing or dinging or any of that stuff. So I don't know what's going on, but I got it. You can see it right there that it just came up. And then if I swipe through backwards, there's Stuck's, and then there's yours again, Roger. Sorry. You don't need to access the camera, PayPal. What's wrong with you? Okay. So all good here. All good on this end. That made it basically almost like a $55 day. No, almost $60 day. So we had a very successful day today, and $60 is a lot of money in Southeast Asia. A lot of money, and I really genuinely appreciate it. So thank you very much, Roger. Thank you very much, Stuck. Thank you, MetTech, and thank you. Somebody else sent a super chat, and I can't remember. But thank you to whoever you are. I can't remember right off the top of my head. Yeah, it's a little late, Victory Lap, but we're getting ready to shut it down now, and we will pick it back up after work tomorrow. So hopefully I can get you guys Friday. And Jim shows up right as we're getting ready to shut it down. Stuck in Florida says that's 60 pork noodle soups. Roger, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you getting the little money challenge started today. I appreciate that very much. Hello to Mr. Pale. Roger kind of took your place today, and we had a very decent day in terms of contributions. Love and appreciate you for it. MetTech says, love you guys later. Same to you, MetTech. Take care, brother. And hope to see you on the next chat, which will probably be on Friday. So to the best of my ability. Jim says he stepped in for me. Nobody can take my place. Just kidding, just kidding. He did a good job. He He even said we need Jim. So, yeah, it's good to have you in the house, Jim. Hate you called it at the end though. We were having a good little deal, and PayPal's doing something that's never, ever done before, which is not alerting me to getting PayPal's. I find that very interesting because I don't know exactly how that works, but it worked. We had a very decent day, decent, and I'm excited about it. So, yeah, Friday my time, guys. Should be Friday my time. So tomorrow for me. William says, "Thank you. You're more than welcome, William." And Jim's raised $3,800 for his homeless person and the puppy situation that he's been taking care of. And I think that is fantastic. Good for you, Jim. With that being said, guys, I'm almost at 2 hours here. I can't believe I went that long. I want to tell all of you that I appreciate you participating in the chat. Thank you for listening to my long-winded mouth for so long. Yeah, everybody tune in. It'll be Thursday night in the States. Thank you for that hike. I appreciate it. We've seen a couple hats. Interesting. Yeah, you'll probably see a couple more at some point in time. But you guys are participating in the chat. Awesome. Go More Hopping. Thank you for joining the channel as a member. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys learned valuable information. That's the most important thing. I think we got to share a lot on there. Roger says, thumbs up, numb nuts. I like that. Roger, thank you so incredibly much for your contribution. That's big contribution, and I really appreciate it because I do know that times are hard. I thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart, man. And Bob has become a DoMoreLife fan. He is now a channel member, and welcome, Bob. I am glad that you have joined, my friend. I'm really glad you joined. It seems to the channel membership seems to be getting better, and I think there's value if you go over, just check the community tabs every once in a while, guys, and make sure if there's a tab for members only, make sure you click that if you're a member, and you'll get the members only posts, pictures, and or polls. Like yesterday, I put out a polls for the channel members, and that's why we had the topic we had today. But thank you very much, Bob. I really, really, really appreciate it. Mike says Bob is now cool like me. Yeah, there you go. Florida says, go hopping, Bob Sears. Welcome to the family. Absolutely. And we are a family, guys. We really are. So with that being said, triple thank you to everybody that contributed. Roger, I really, really appreciate you stepping up like that, man. That was huge. And MetTech and the other guy with the super chat. And then another triple thank you to Bob. And we had another member that joined too. Bob and who else was it? Somebody tell me real quick. Can't remember. But we had two members join the DoMoreLife channel as a member. And I appreciate it. Yeah, go. That's it. Hopping also joined, and I am very, very pleased to have both of you as a part of the DoMoreLife family. Thank you very much. My moderators, you guys are awesome, indeed, very awesome, and I appreciate all the help you've given me today. Let's see, Victory Lap says, hey, when I retire and live stream, probably won't get more subs watching or super chats than this. It's YouTube is a whole different world, man. That's all I can say. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me for these almost 2 hours. And I hope the first hour, everybody learned something, as I certainly did. Jim's got a good point. Pick your favorite DoMoreLife video. If you want to see the channel grow, pick your favorite DoMoreLife video and share it. on your social media. More people will come to the channel. Stuck's going to see if Steve is still ranting. Oh, Lord. But yeah, I assume you're talking about Montelli. Yeah, everybody go check Montelli out because he's probably over there doing his thing. I love his streams. But anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you very much for being a part of Do More Life family. Remember, this channel is dedicated to travel, fun, photography, and education. Whatever you do today, be sure you find a way to do more life. Love and peace, guys. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one.